Hi, right, hello, I'm back again, going through the different modules that are in Jahshaka. So I'm going to go through the effects module now. So the effects module is, as the name suggests, you can add on effects. So what I'll do is I'll take one of my media, I'll put it on there, so that's my lightsaber one. And now you might be thinking, wow, I can add a lightsaber effect. Don't, no, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. It's one of them. As you can see, I've got a bunch of different views. It looks quite different from some of the previous ones. First things first, you might see it like this, especially if you've got it set up like I do. If you click on the right hand side here and left click drag, it brings up this view, which is, you'll see in a bit how it works. So our first layer is the FX layer on which our video is based. So we've got scene, controls, clip, keyframes. Keyframes generally not used that often. It's more for if you're retiming stuff. I'll try to get into it on one of the later tutorials. Basically, what I'm going to do is what I decided to do, I'm going to give you a brief overview of every module, and then what I'm going to do is probably try and take you through an entire step process, showing the exact modules I'd use and the systems I'd probably use to kind of get you kind of get you to understand exact workflow of how to use Jahshaka. The clip tab just basically tells you about your clip. So if you click off it, you shouldn't be able to see your clip. It works better in some of the other modules, but yeah, that's how it is. So from there, you could actually change what clip is being seen. Turn. There's a key, so if you click on that, if there's anything underneath, it'd show through. Again, it's not really that worth looking at that on this particular module because you can't layer different layers on top. Unfortunately, you only have one layer, and you just pile effects on top of that, which is quite useless, really. Obviously, you can see load, save, reset, or clear scene. I'll show you them in 2 seconds what you can do with them. So start frame, end frame, pretty simple. Start frame and end frame of our video. Playback speed 30 frames per second. It's actually 25 because it's PAL DV. As you can see, you can change the resolution as you wish. And controls, so changing them, as you can see, appears to do nothing, and I don't think it will on this, simply because, again, just like the other system, it's kind of like the world layer, and it controls everything, and because you don't have layers upon layers, it just won't work. The best way to think of this module is kind of like a module to create presets, to be honest. So for example, I've got this FX layer. Now to add effects, if you look on the left hand side, it says add CPU, RT, or GPU. So GPU, if you click on chroma key, stretch or crop, and then you've got all of these, none of them work with me. I'll be honest with you, none of them work. And in fact, most of them, when I click on them, Jahshaka shuts down, so I'm not going to even try clicking on them. If you click on RT, these are more to be used with mesh-based layers, so they actually come in really handy in the animation layer, and you'll note from a lot of what I'm saying is that I like the animation layer a lot more than the other layers. But again, you can see it's pretty simple: swirl, ripple, fisheye, flag, and another ripple. I don't know why they've got two. And then you got the CPU effects, and these are the ones that generally do work. And there's more of, so you've got the chroma key, you've got colorize, and a few there. So what we're going to do is, for example, let's say we want to change the color in our video, and I don't know. So I clicked on add CPU colorize, so I've got colorize underneath. Now if I click on the controls tab, as you can see, it's a different tab. It's got red, green, blue, tint, brightness, strength, gamma. So let's say we wanted to increase the red a bit, decrease the green a bit. Obviously, as you can see, I'm just over exaggerating here, but by fine-tuning this is effectively kind of like color correcting. I'm not going to go all the way to say it is, but let's say I like that. I like that. Let's say that's the type of tint that I want, and that's the type of tint I want for all of my videos. So what I could actually do is I could click on save, click on scene, sorry, click on save, and then in my desktop just type that as color. I'm just saving to desktop. Click on save, and it's saved. What it's actually saved is saved the file, so the lightsaber and the preset on top of it. What you would then do is, for example, if I want to clear scene, reset scene, let's say I've just turned on Jahshaka and I want that same thing, but I want it on this video here. Well, what do I do? What I do is I click on load, go click on my color, and now you'll see it's loaded the original video. All you gotta do is click on the FX layer, click your video that you want it to apply it to, go in there, and it'll actually apply that to that video. So effectively, it's kind of like a way to create your own preset and save it. Now for the astute-minded of you, on the right hand side over here, you'll notice now colorize is down here with the line sticking. What does that look like? That looks like node-based compositing, which is used in Blender and in Nuke and in a couple of other things. Yeah, it is node-based effects. So if we add on another effect, Gaussian blur, as you can see, that's then added on top of the colorize. But really, to be honest, it's more of like just to look nice than anything else. It doesn't really do anything more than that. Like, it's not like I can cut it in here, stop them, and because you can only have one layer in at a time, I don't know why they put that in there. I'm guessing they put it in there as a start with a future plans to build upon it, but it's actually completely useless. So I would just leave it like that and actually prefer the increased workspace. So that is the effects module. And so as you can see, by layering effect upon effect, you could theoretically make some really good stuff. But that being said, as I said, it's not the best module. As it's really only good if you like particular things. But what I found more often than not, especially if you're into small special effects work and stuff, you're not going to be repeating the same thing over and over again. Each effect is going to be slightly different, so you're probably not even going to be making that many presets. As I said, it's only probably really going to be good is if you happen to stumble across a combination in the colorize module which actually makes it look really good and really stylized, and you like that, you can come into the effects module and you can actually save it out. Although that being said, you could do it in the animation module as well. So the effects module that's all it's really used for, and I again don't use the effects module because I think just like the text module, it's quite limited and I don't really see any point to it. In fact, I think it's probably resource hungry. That was the effects module. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll see what I can do to answer them. Thank you. Bye.